Hi guys, I want to talk about communication this morning, and this is something that has been a matter of concern to me. For some time, I've seen loopholes in terms of communication. I've come across some organizations, I've come across businesses, I've come across individuals, and I noticed that communication has been a gap. It's not just understanding communication. A lot of people understand, they know what communication is, of course, but the problem is we don't really put them into practice. And I feel it's because we don't know how to do it. Some feel, okay, I go to the internet, to the computer, I understand the concept of communication. Communication means transmission of information between two people. That's communication, that's it. And I do that. But that's not effective. If we want to be productive, if we want our team to be productive, what do? We need effective communication, not just understanding the meaning of communication, that it means this. You have the knowledge, but you don't have the wisdom to put the knowledge into practice. But acquiring the knowledge, you've read it, but being able to put it into practice, then that's that effective communication. I'll give an example, something that happened some time ago, where I was working in a team. I came into the team, and when I got to the team, I noticed that the management method in the team, and this is one of the good companies in the world, a world class bank in the world, but the manager in the team decides that he doesn't want the team to communicate with each other. And I asked myself, what's happening here? Okay, what did I do? I had to speak to everybody one by one. Each of the team members, I had to speak to them. Are they happy doing the job? Then I noticed that none of them is happy doing the job, but because there is no job out there, they couldn't speak out. This is what is happening in most companies today, whereby the CEOs doesn't really know what's happening there because the jobs are being delivered. But it's been delivered, but when they track the job that is delivered, then they will see the loopholes in the job is a lot because people are not communicating, things are not done properly. People create, okay, I will use that as an example because it's something that is affecting a lot of companies where you see the management directing affairs, yeah, proper way. Then the team that are doing the job, maybe the guys doing the codes, they don't communicate. Even try a form of pair programming, even if it's possible, at least to help them, get to know what each other, know what, assist each other in what they're doing. That's the worst case scenario, but there are other things that can be done to solve this problem. But a case where they don't do that, then what happens? If the team cannot be able to communicate effectively with each other, understand what they are doing, then things are going to go down the drain. They're going to be bad. And this is what happens. Because these people want to climb, then they don't care if the guys are doing the right thing. So communication is so important. I just use that as an example for us to see a case where it has affected the company and what they are doing. Because at the end of the day, they have to spend so much time in refactoring the codes. So the codes are not done properly. So what happens? If there were proper communication, the job would have been done in an easy way, but it won't be done because sometimes when the vendors need something, they won't get it. They won't get it because the team will have to go back and start fixing the problem they've created before because the manager just wants the boss at the end of the week to say, we've done this and it's done. So there is no effective communication, things are not done properly. So communication is so important that be it businesses, personal life, whatever it is, it's so important. And what I do when I get to the team is I make sure that they communicate. Like I said earlier, I got to the team, I spoke to everybody, understand where they are coming from, understand their viewpoint of the job they are doing. Are they happy with the job? How can we improve it? I have to work on individual, build their communication spirit. And they started communicating. And the moment they started communicating, that's the moment I started having problem with the manager. But the management wanted what I was doing, but the manager felt it's not right because she's losing the grip on these guys. But indirectly, she's not losing the grip of the guys because they will give her a better work. Because at that stage, what they will do is, if my skill set I see the other guy, a sense of communication, the other guy has some skill set I need. Why don't you approach the person without seeing it as a problem by the management? Pick up something from that guy. Sometimes when you work in an organizations, you learn every day. You can't be perfect. Some things are missing. That's why you always have a skill set to improve on your skill. And as a coach, you encourage your team, do this training, do that to improve. But if a guy has a skill, why don't you just meet him, speak to him, chat with each other, understand each other's life? And that's what I try to do in the team. Encourage them to understand, you start understanding, okay, what's this person, what does it do in his off days? Oh, I spend time with my family, I love playing basketball, I love playing chess, I go for a drink, I do this. Getting to know this, it will make them to be free. There are so many ways to build communication in a team. But aside from that, that's just an explanation of to understand the concept of where I'm directing this to. But communication in itself, what makes it important is when you build communication, effective communication. Albert in his book in 1971 says that the body language, the tone of voice, and the words are the three things we consider in communication. And the word itself takes only 7% of our communication. What matters most is what the body language and the tone of voice. If you are in a management position and you are speaking to your team members, do you pick up their body languages? Do you see if they actually listen to you? But how are you going to get that? Because most jobs these days, cameras are off. Most remote jobs, cameras are off. Most jobs are remote these days though. Cameras are off. You have a meeting, every member turns off the camera. How can you pick the body language? And how will you tell me that you have an effective communication from just the tone of voice? No facial expression, no eye contact, nothing. Communication is zero. If your camera is on and I'm speaking to you, even if he's online, I could tell, okay, what's the facial expression? What's he talking about? What's on his mind? Okay, I'll look at his eye contact. Okay, is he following what I'm saying? Is he listening to me? Is he paying attention? Is the mind here? Is he listening? Is he actually where I am? Okay, I'll give you guys an example. Once I was having a team chat and I requested that everybody puts on their video. And the reason I requested they put on their video is because I want us to know each other, to communicate. It's not because you want to see what the person is doing. I don't really care about what they're doing. I always tell them, if you're working at home, it's fine. If you're somewhere, it's fine. But once in a while, just put on your videos. Let's know your video is on. Then this guy decided not to put on. He decided to put on his video. Sorry, his video. No, he didn't put on his video. He put on his sound. He didn't put on his video. Then I realized that he was in the middle of the market. I think he was trying to buy something somewhere. That's not professional. How are you going to be having a meeting that is scheduled on a daily basis, and at that point is the time you decide to go to the market and you've been paid for it? Why don't you just take that time and just spend that time for the meeting? It's just 15 minutes of your time that is going to be taken. Use it. And the funny part is the management style doesn't allow the communication. So they don't really know what these guys are doing when they're not at work. So somebody can just come and say, I'm doing the job. Anybody can do it. So you can see that it's really the reason why some companies these days, after some time, they shut down. Because there is no communication. They're not looking at the communication properly. They're just looking at the work that is being done. But if the communication is looked at, it's more sustainable. There's more productivity, which makes the business continue going. But if not, you see them trying to create a product to keep them sustainable, creating new product that they keep on living on. Why they have good products? How long are they going to keep on doing that? We're going to do that forever. But with proper communication, I promise you guys, if we could use this, speak to people, understand what they're talking about, Not just in teams only, even in your personal life. We can start from home. Just try it. This thing I'm saying, try it at home. If you are married, when you are going out, if you're not the type that tells your wife where you're going, just start by telling her, okay, my wife, I'm going out. I'm going to this place. Even if it's not where you go, you know you're going somewhere else. But just try and learn to talk to her. Tell her, I'm going here. This is where I'm going. And wait and see what's going to happen in the family. Do that like 3-4 times. You're going to give me a feedback. Not just that. At work, whatever you are doing, communication is important, and wait for the feedback. It shouldn't be a form of, how would I put it, an order. No, it's not a military zone. Communication should be, expect a feedback from the person. Once you get a feedback, then it's productive. And that is the reason why I keep on saying, my previous team, I keep on telling them that, come, you guys can never achieve something good if we have a meeting and we don't know what we're talking, we don't know who we're talking to. You've been a team, you don't even know your team members. Then tell me, how are you productive? Yeah, you're productive in a way, but is it sustainable? That's why you see the business these days is always revolving, always change. A lot of changes are happening now, and changes that are happening are affecting a lot of people. And most businesses are affected too, and some companies doesn't know why their business are affected. Some companies just want something to be done in a fast way, get result quick. Yes, you can get result quick, even if with proper communication. It's proper feedback, it's even faster. A very good example is refactoring. When you have proper communication, you have less refactoring jobs. Like you have less errors in your coding. Why there are errors in codes? Maybe you decide, okay, I want the proper communication. I'm using pair programming with some of my team members. You have less errors. There are so many ways to resolve the communication issues. Let the team communicate. If you have a problem, speak to somebody. Be free to speak to your team members. Even if you don't know them, be free to speak to them. Communicate with them. A coach that can do that is a productive one. And I guarantee you guys, your job will be productive. Your team will be productive. The company is going to be productive. But sometimes the company might not see where this productivity is coming from. Why? Because they don't really see, okay, they might not know, okay, under the communication level that is being done here is done in the lower level. Nobody sees it, but the result is at the top level, of course. Because when the team when they communicate with each other, they tend to understand what they are doing. I understand what the next person is doing. They collaborate with each other. They self-organized. They tend to, okay, if I have a problem, maybe there's something I'm doing, I'm having a hitch somewhere, I can speak freely with the person without any problem. Sometimes people in the organization refuse to speak freely because when they talk to somebody, a team member, about where they need help with, what happens? The person will go and tell the manager, trying to bite the other person, bring them down. It happens in organizations. Effective communication doesn't allow that. Even as a manager, you won't allow somebody come and tell you that, okay, this person told me that he doesn't know how to do this. A good manager will ask you, do you know how to do it? Why don't you show him how to do it? Why are you coming to report to me that this guy is saying he cannot do this? This guy is employed because he's qualified. So why don't you say, okay, you're lacking there, of course, you can't know everything. But why don't you just show him how to do it? I personally will have problem with the guy coming to report to me that this person says he can't do this. If you can do it, why don't you show him? Then it is when he doesn't want to learn, that's when there will be problem. We all learn every day. When the person is interviewed, is employed, he got his job right. Yeah. There are some tasks that might be given to somebody that is not part of his job descriptions, and you can show the person how to do it. Or sometimes he can lack in certain things. You can just give him a hand to do it. It's when the person doesn't want to do it, he doesn't want to improve, add to his skill, then it becomes an organizational problem. For organization to move ahead, they need people that are ready to learn, add to their skills. Communication goes a long way, guys. I'm just talking about this. It's something I can speak about from now till tomorrow, next tomorrow, when it has to do with communication, because it actually affects every part of our life. Like I said, is it marriage, is it business, whatever it is, communication is so important that we take it serious. But I'm going to leave this for now. I'm going to talk about communication more in my next video. But please stay tuned. Follow my channel, my YouTube channel, and see more of my videos on other topics that will make your team more effective, more productive, more collaborative, and more self-organized, and more empathetic, more especially, guys. Don't forget that. Thanks.